We did enter beautifully off of this exact point. We got entered long. We bought in here. All right, on this trade, we were able to close out $1,273 in profit, and this happened over the course of 45 minutes. So it's around 9 o'clock in the morning. I usually wake up around 8. Gives me enough time to get set up, grab a coffee, look at the markets, and then be able to sit down at the desk right around 9:30. Most of you guys know I'm a day trader. So what I'm doing right now is looking at the market to see whether or not it looks like we're going to continue moving up for the day, or whether things are going to start moving down, so that I can find individual opportunities for the day to hopefully be able to hit my daily goal of over $3,000, which right now is the goal that I'm currently shooting for. I'm drinking out of foam cups because I just moved in here and I don't have any mugs yet. What I'm seeing here is I've done my analysis, anticipated this reversal. It was a really important moment right here. We ended up shooting way up. I do have a potential resistance zone up here. So this white line across is an area where I anticipate the price could push up to and have a reversal. So my thesis for the day is going to be, most likely, I'm going to trade it up to that line. And then once it hits that line, I'm going to look for shorts in the afternoon. Basically, when I'm longing, price is going up, I can buy in on the day and be able to make money off of the price of the market going up. And then if I play short positions as the market goes down, I'll be able to also make profit. What I'll be doing today is watching what Bitcoin does. I'm going to be taking day trades on smaller cryptocurrencies, tracking all the performance. All right, so it is about 10:20 right now. I have my first trade idea set up here. Like I said earlier, I'm assuming that the market's going to continue moving up. So what I've done is I've put my first buy order in here. So now I'm going to start to add into the buy side of this position, looking for the market to sort of bounce off of these response levels here and continue moving up higher. And sort of what I do each day is I look at a little bit of a larger time frame. So you can see over here, I'm trading Solana, but here I'm going to look at Bitcoin. And what I'm doing is looking at the fact that we've tested this higher level, 1, 2, missed it here, and now we're potentially coming up and testing it again at about $69,000. Okay, so I have reason to believe that this potentially will break up higher a little bit before having a reversal. So I'm gonna go ahead and be a little bit aggressive this morning, buy in, and look to ride the market up to that level. Once it does, assuming it does hit that level, right, and doesn't reverse down, which is also possible, I'm going to then look for a response off this level and try to take some short positions and try to trade it on the way back down right now. But if this continues to move down, I will add to my position here. So I have another buy order right here, which looks like it wasn't quite filled. So like I said, what I'm waiting for is for a price reversal back up to this point, and I'm looking to sell up in this area. So in this situation, anticipating that the price will move up a little bit and giving me sort of an idea when to buy into the market. What I did first is just sort of drew a horizontal line across these highs. So this is most likely going to mag towards this level, most likely try to retest this. And in my opinion, there's a high chance that this could break out of this zone here. But you'll notice I'm looking at a pretty zoomed out version of this. So what I like to do now is go into, say, a 1 hour time frame, and now I can see sort of the current trend that I'm playing into overall into Bitcoin. I can start to do analysis on this. So what I like to do is first count how many waves we've gotten. What I look for, if you follow the channel often, you'll notice that trends follow this sort of 5-wave pattern here. So I like to always start with looking at where we are in that 5-wave pattern. And sort of a good way that I like to use where we could potentially top out at is just using this indicator over here on TradingView. I'm charting on TradingView. So I click at that bottom point, and then I just sort of go up to this highest point before we've rounded off here, which would be right along there. Click back down to the bottom. And what I'm looking for are these values to be sort of where the top of the 5th wave on these sorts of trends start appearing. So what I notice is this 3rd wave ran into this 161.8, which is indicating to me that we'll probably see a continuation up, and then potentially even break through this high and start to reclaim this area up to here, which would bring us over 70,000 on the day for Bitcoin, and sort of has our daily bias to the upside. All right, so on this trade, the price ended up coming down a little bit through my entry. So I ended up using my second dip buy level here. But what I like to do in situations like this, and I always tell the private side of our trading team this, anytime you have these sort of trend breaks here, it's always good to have your stop loss level underneath where you'll possibly get a reaction off of that. So in this situation, the reason I was willing to sort of take this at this moment, get in and get out, was because of that reason. So we got our bounce off of here. So it's about 11 o'clock right now. Made a little bit less on this trade than I was hoping. We still closed out the trade for $836, and this happened basically in 29 minutes. So usually what I'm doing at this point of the day is just making sure that I track down this trade into my trade journal here. What I usually do now is wait for the market to sort of establish a direction for the day. I want to see how this sort of plays out. So I usually wait for one of these directions to either break, and I'll continue trading into the direction of the trend. What I'll do now is sort of check emails and get back to team members, message the team members on Discord. You see Andrew here talking about missing by one tick, 37 risk reward trade. So basically if he was risking $100, he would have made $3,700. This is what he and I are working on as well, to basically be able to bring to you guys on the private side of the trading team and on the YouTube channel. It looks like now we could actually have a failure for the day, break under these lows, and then I'll get into the second trade setup. All right, so after my first trade of the session, I basically just set up alerts so that the market has to make a move for me to take my next trade. Sometimes I get a lot of trades, other times I don't get trades. Okay, day trading can be somewhat of a mundane process. So usually this is the time where I will take a lot of my meetings. So from today at about 1:30 till about 3:30 or 4, I was in different meetings for financial consulting, for the business, meeting with different team members. And then usually what I'll do on my trading days is find a trade, and I'll really just wait for the next trade setup to come. I do have another trade setup that I'm waiting to enter here. On my trading days, I am looking to make anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 on a typical basis. I am pacing a little bit behind that right now, so we're gonna see on this one if we can actually enter the position. So I've been waiting for some time for this price to come down to this top of the green line right here. It's been taking so long, and now it's consolidating above this price. So I have all of my orders input here on Bybit. So if this comes down, I'm going to enter. It's going to most likely get some sort of support off of this level here, and then I'm hoping to play this for a break of session high. So based on my analysis, ideally I see something like this, and then we get a move up to this side. And the way I have this position built out, if we are able to get this all together, it should be $1,300 to $1,400 on this trade, which would bring me up to $2,400. So usually right around now, I'm gonna let the trade run. I'm gonna head down to the gym. I got an upper body day today, so I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna grab some dinner, and on the way home, we will see what ends up happening with this chart and see if we're able to get that $1,300. Most likely once the market starts to move again, we should be able to find a third setup. I like to go for 3 trades most days, but something that I do focus on is only taking setups when the setups are actually there. So to be honest with you, making these videos, it does make it slightly difficult because of course I'm trying to showcase what I do on a daily basis. So if I shoot all this stuff and then I don't end up taking trades, it's a little stupid. So it is, I think, hard for people who make trading content to balance that sort of, you know, when do you take a trade, when do you not take a trade? But I just wanted to give you guys genuinely a look at what an actual day of trading is going to look like. So what I'm doing is just enjoying a nice sunset here. I just moved partially here like 2 weeks ago. I'm still getting set up in the house. I just got a couch here, got the beanbag set up over here, which is pretty epic. I got my trading setup, which I think is pretty cool. I'm gonna be adding the top monitor back over here as well. So good trading setup over here. Then we got the good living room over here. Still in the process of getting set up, but I have to say that the view is super sick. Okay, so you can see entered position right at this level. And now we'll just monitor this while we're at the gym, see what the trade result is. Up the workout for the evening. Beautiful part about being a day trader is it's what, 7:30. I hit a workout. It was amazing. We hit perfectly off of that green zone and it went perfectly up to full profit. Okay, it's a little bit dark because obviously we're outside, but we're gonna go upstairs and we'll take a deeper look to see how much profit we made on this, but hit perfectly into our anticipated support. Once again on that trend, so beautiful move up, played in the direction of the trend. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go get some dinner, and once I have dinner, I'll see if there's another later session trade to be able to take, go upstairs, get some deeper work in. Obviously, you know, day trading opens up the opportunity for you to have less time spent at work, but what I like to do and what I've been doing over the past probably since I've been 20. I basically dropped out of college to do this. So I've been working at it for 7-8 years now. And just because I don't trade 24/7 doesn't mean that I'm not working 24/7. The good thing about trading is it opens up the ability for me to basically be able to work on other things. We have a business, we have YouTube. These are a lot of things that take a lot of work. And so having a job where basically set and forget and make more money than 99.9% of people, obviously it's a difficult skill to acquire, but once you do acquire it, it does open that door up for you. So most people don't know this, but this morning I worked from 7 to 7:30 now basically. So I worked for nearly 10-11 hours, and that's pretty normal for me. So this career is a good option for you if you're young and you're hustling and want to grow a business. If you're young and don't have too much direction, I just want to let you guys know that I also was in that position. When I was 22, I got fired from a job. I was living in my grandmother's attic, and I was still focusing on trading, and everyone was sort of coming down on me and saying, when are you going to get a job? When are you going to start taking life seriously? And if you have conviction, go with it. Don't let people sway. Work hard, right? Don't be afraid of hard work, because life is not really meant to be enjoyed, right? It's not designed for, especially in my opinion, guys, like we're designed to produce things and be fulfilled off of producing and providing, right? And so this whole notion of, oh, I gotta be happy or I gotta be this, like all the generations of people who came before us to give us this opportunity for me to be able to sit here and make videos and trade markets and make thousands of dollars a day. Like the only reason that's an opportunity is because people spent their entire lives for generation dying in their 40s and their 30s, basically struggling and struggling just to find food to survive. So, don't be afraid of working all day. As you're young, do it now. Lock in when other people are around, honestly, and you can be able to have opportunities to change your life and change your family's life. So sort of just a side tangent there. I don't know if this will even make the final cut of the video, but anyways, trade's looking good. Let's go get some dinner and let's go set up another trade and then play some pool. Yeah, should be good for the day. So it is about 7:30, almost 8 o'clock right now. So normally this is where on any given day, I'll start to wind down, eat some dinner, and then get into my late night session of work if I'm going to continue to work. I want to go over real quick just what I was looking at with this trade, just because this was a really, really perfect example of picking specific points and then having the market actually respond beautifully with what we were looking to have happen. And I want you guys to fully understand what my analysis was. All right, on this trade, we were able to close out $1,273 in profit. And this happened over the course of 45 minutes. Okay, so realistically, what I look for in opportunities where I'm trading these types of trades, the first thing that I was looking at was sort of for the price to break out into a new trend. So over here, we had new low, new low. This point failed to break under a new low, which indicated a potential change in price direction for me overall. And I noticed that we had this high over here during this period of price action. We had this resistance level sort of respected, and then broken out above. And remember that I was telling you guys that trends tend to move in 5 waves patterns. Okay, so say this is where the price was when I set the trade up, right? So I had projected out in real time 1, 2, 3, potential 4, and then 5 up to here. Okay, so next thing that I did was I wanted to see if there'd be any areas where the price would likely sort of bounce up and then continue to move. Okay, so then I kind of scrolled out and I looked at some of these areas where the price has sort of chopped down and then sort of hung out at. So notice how we have levels over here, chopping around, and then we have it breaks down through it and comes up and retests it and then gets a massive rejection. So right in here was sort of an important area that I had marked out, right? So I just wanted to have sort of all of these really important areas where once again we got rejection off of it and then a dump and then a break up above it, because just like sort of what we saw before right here where we had price bounce up, finally break down through and then come up back into that area and then get rejected off of it. Okay, once the price is able to break up above, break back down, get resistance again and then break back up above it, right? This is always going to be a pocket of area where once again I can expect for the price to come down to and then have some sort of bounce and continuation, right? So if I know that the price based on this wave structure of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that the price will most likely come down and not be able to break underneath this high of 1 here. And this is a key area over the past couple days where price is rejected off of it. This is going to most likely be a pretty positive bounce zone for me. So then the next thing that I did was grab this tool from this high point and went down to the most recent low here. This allows me to basically put my dip buy orders in. We did enter beautifully off of this exact point. We got entered long. We bought in here. And then just to show you how perfect this data-driven decision making can sometimes be, we had our perfect take profit zone here, just a little bit over this high point, perfectly hit along that green level. And then we had a start of a sell-off. So now what I'm expecting is that we will have just sort of doing a continuation of this analysis. There is a decent chance that we come up to this 261.8 level here and make a move up to here. If we do, I'm okay with waiting for what's called a change of character. But also something that I'm taking note of is that this high level here was sort of poked through and tested again and now rejected. So I wouldn't be surprised if now off of these lows, kind of have like the lows riding along here of this current trend. I wouldn't be surprised to watch the price sort of break down of this level. And if we do and get some sort of confirmation back down, I'm okay with taking a position to the short side on this if we do get that rejection. All right, I like to be very specific about my note taking and tracking all of my data. Okay, if you guys don't know, tracking data is one of the most important things that you can do in trading. Even if you're trading discretionarily or you're making trade decisions where you kind of do whatever you're feeling in the moment, have a way of tracking what you're doing so that you at least know where you stand. So what I'm going to do here is take my screenshot of my analysis. All right, and notice that I'm taking down note of all of this behavior, because then I can basically go back in here and look at all of what I've done and know exactly where I stand before going ahead and taking my next trade. So now at this time, I'm going to find another trade setup and then work for the rest of the evening. All right, so I wrapped up the evening after dinner, just doing some deep work, taking a look at the trades for the day. Once again, beautiful part of trading is we basically had this almost on autopilot while we were doing other things. So if we look at the last setup of the day that I took, I was able to get in and out of this trade in about 33 minutes, and I closed this trade out for $1,600. We got a massive candle push up here and got me out for full profit into the continuation of this overall trend. And at the end of the day, all said and done, I was able to make $3,700 in profit. If you guys are interested, we have an entire training that goes into way more detail of this and tons of other concepts that people can use to be able to build this sort of income generating machine for yourself. Okay, if you're interested in trading, check out our Discord, check out the links in the description to the education, to all of the free resources, check out the other videos on the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you want to know when I drop videos. Let me know if you like these style of videos as well. If you want to watch other videos of me taking more of these trades, you can check them out right here. But that's basically what my day looks like. So I just wanted to showcase you guys a realistic day in the life for me. Okay, we hit a bunch of trades, got work done, went for a workout. Until next time, I'll see you guys all in the next one.